Here's something a little more local, but I just want to give it a shout out. Um, I thought this was a really great story in the LA Times column. For Indigenous street vendors, offering free meals in LA is more than charity. So here we have some Indigenous Zapotecs women in LA. We have many Zapotec and Mixteco people here in the Santa Maria Valley where I live. And here they are. I mean, get a look at that burrito. Jesus. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Look at it. Chili relleno. Oh, right. Or I should do the home or something. Oh, that looks like a delicious burrito. And they were giving these out for free in LA. Let's see. A couple of Zapotecs from the Mexican state of Oaxaca were ready. Paco whipped out his smartphone, logged on to Instagram Live, and began to spiel in Spanish. "Pass by, free food," he cheerily announced in Spanish. "We'll wait for you here." He zoomed in on Adela, who worked a tortilla press like a boss, as the youngest daughter also filmed on her smartphone. The earthly smell of cooking masa filled the air. "Come here," Paco added, "so these 100 chili rellenos can be finished." Let's see. So what they're... Let's see. So they've done this a few times over the last 3 months. Gone out and given free food. What they're doing is the art. What they're doing is the art of Guelaguetza, a Zapotec word and concept mostly famous in Los Angeles as the name of a legendary Oaxacan restaurant. It actually refers to mutual aid. The idea that giving is as important as receiving, and that communities need to do both regularly to thrive. Quote, "It's something that we practice as indigenous people, but now it's about establishing it in the Colonia neighborhood where we settled," said Manny Morales, whose family hosts mid-city cookouts in front of their flower and clothing boutique. That's a tough name. Yalhaj, "we've been doing it back home, so it's important for us to now show the city that this is a network that has always existed." So this is indigenous people's mutual aid, helping one another in times of need, and it's just part of the culture, part of their heritage. And I think it's a beautiful thing. Here in Santa Maria, we have Guelaguetza, but it's a yearly festival that they call that the indigenous folks here put on every year, and they call that Guelaguetza, that celebration of togetherness, solidarity, love for one another. It's incredible. And, it's interesting to me that I noticed a flourishing across the Central Coast where I'm at of mutual aid during the pandemic. And specifically, one of the groups, I've interviewed them here on the channel, is called SBSLO Alliance. This is their Instagram handle, SBSLO Alliance. SB for Santa Barbara County, SLO for San Luis Obispo County Alliance. And they're indigenous peoples who, and children of indigenous immigrants or local, Native American descendants. And they do all kinds of protest. And the story I did about the Santa Maria PD putting snipers up on the roof of the mall, that was for this event that they organized. But they've also done tons of mutual aid. As you can see here, they're getting sandwiches ready, but we're slapping together hygiene kits and handing these out in areas of my town where, where a lot of indigenous folk live, and we have indigenous farm workers, but we also just have people who are in need, and nobody was turned away. So very cool to see that going on in LA and here. I had recent guest on, Mac from the You Don't Know History podcast. I've been sharing the clips of that, the YDK History podcast. And he made a really good point that the left movement in America, it is increasingly less white, and it's increasingly less straight and male. It's increasingly queer and people of color, and we need to embrace that and let these folks lead by example. And that's why I enjoy platforming them and signal boosting all of that. Go check those groups out on Instagram or wherever else. You can donate to them, of course. They do it through Venmo and Cash App and all those. So very, very important work. And it was just, to see our local indigenous community teaching everybody else pretty much about mutual aid. That was a really cool thing to see over the last year.